Peace, everybody. Welcome to Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Rob, and today we're going to preview this Saturday's mega heavyweight matchup between Anthony Joshua, who holds the IBF heavyweight title, and Wladimir Klitschko, the previous kingpin of the division, who held damn near all the belts, except for the WBC, which his brother had, and then he never got a hold of it. But there's neither here nor there. Joshua and Klitschko are fighting each other. Highly anticipated fight. Really hard fight to call. We're going to break down the skills of each guy and how it translates into each other. And we'll try to make a prediction. But honestly, I have no clue how this fight's going to go. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. These guys match up very well. They're similar in height. They're similar in power. One's just been doing it for a really long time, and one is trying to take the head of the lion to become the alpha. What you got, Rob?
I want to say they're similar, but they're not. We know that Wladimir Klitschko is more tentative as far as how he proceeds in the ring.
Yeah,
this is a man who does not want to get hit at all. And we know in the heavyweight division, one punch can change it all.
Yes.
One mistake, and granted that can happen in any division, but not like the heavyweight division.
Yeah, that's where it gets all this glamour from, is really big guys knocking the holy hell out of each other.
Now, while I think both guys have great jabs, I think that Klitschko has the more varied jab where he can do it offensively and defensively to keep you off him.
And his left hook off the jab is amazing.
Right, it's quick when he wants to use it.
Yeah.
If he can punch it and he comes directly in off that back foot, and it could land in a flash.
Yeah.
And we know Joshua has been shaken up before.
Yes. And granted, when he was shaken up, it was by guys who threw looping punches, something Klitschko really doesn't do.
No, he does not.
But he's very good at blinding you with the jab and coming with that, as he's called, he's Dr. Steelhammer, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because Vitaly's Dr. Iron Fist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anyway, Dr. Steelhammer brings it with that right hand, and several guys can tell you it is not to be messed with.
But we also know with Anthony Joshua, I think he has how many decisions? Zero. Which means this guy ends fights emphatically. I'm about to say theatrically, but
hey, some of them were theatrical. Like I think that Charles Martin one was that had some theatrics to it.
And the craziest thing about it is he's never been past the 7th round.
Yes. So that's one of the question marks of this. If he can't land solidly on Klitschko and he's eating jabs and taking right hands, can he take that? And then going into the late rounds, how good is his stamina? Mm-hmm. Now, these guys are very familiar with each other because they sparred together. But we also know that sparring and a full-fledged fight are two different animals. And also, the time that they were sparring together was kind of a long time ago. It was when Joshua was like really starting off in the game, mm-hmm. and Vlad had the belts. So there was a different dynamic there than now. Joshua has the belt, and he's defended it against kind of like one of his mentors. So that's another thing in play there. The respect issue, how well is that going to play out? How much does Wladimir, he's talking the talk, but how much does he really want to be in there in the fire with one of these young guys that do not want to give up their hold on the spotlight, on the titles, on the prestige that comes with being the heavyweight champion of the world? How much more does he want that now that he's had it for almost 10 years and he's in his early 40s? How old is he?
Either late 30s, early 40s, one of the two. I want to say it's like 38 or 39.
Okay. Yeah, I think it is I think it's around that age. But Joshua is like not even in his mid-20s yet, right?
I think he's just getting there.
I think he just turned like 24, 25. Either way, he's at least 10 years younger than Klitschko. So
keep talking. I'm looking it up.
the that dynamic is there. How fresh is Wladimir Klitschko? Because even though he doesn't like to be hit, he has been in a few
he's
wars.
27.
He's 27. Okay. He's still got 3 years before he gets 30.
He hasn't reached his prime yet.
Right. So
and Wladimir is 41. So
41. Okay. That's a big age difference. But like I was saying, Wladimir has been in a few wars, and even in the fights that he was making it look like not a lot was going on, take the Povetkin fight. Povetkin didn't win too many rounds, but Wladimir still had to work really hard for Povetkin not to win those rounds. Povetkin was working very hard to get on the inside, and Wladimir had to really work to hold him down. Same thing with Tony Thompson. Tony Thompson gave him a lot of work. His fight with Tyson Fury, while not the most physically grinding fight, it was hard mentally trying to figure out that puzzle, which he did not do because Tyson lifted all the belts off of him. Is he prepared mentally and physically to do that again with someone who is physically more gifted than the guys I mentioned?
Now, that being said, Anthony Joshua, who I feel can fight on the inside, is not technically an inside fighter. They have very similar styles in the fact that the ones who have given the most trouble have been the guys who have been willing to go through fire and get in there and try to rough them up. The difference between them is Anthony Joshua is not going to let you rough him up on the inside. He'll probably turn you, create space, and hit you with something like a sledgehammer.
Klitschko will use his weight and his strength to completely negate what you're doing. And that saps the strength of not only him, but more so the fighter who's trying to break free of that to work. So they're trying to break free to work, and he's just holding you like, I just want to stop the action so we can get back to what I like to do.
Now, Joshua will probably be more active as far as fighting from the outside and mid-range trying to get to him, but I see tie-ups, but I see that Klitschko will be the ones tying him up, because what I think he would want to do is pretty much drag Joshua into the second half of the fight.
Right.
And I don't necessarily think he's stronger, but Joshua, while as a heavyweight, at 6'6" and 240 odd pounds, just to give you an example, I'm 6'4" and 230, 235. And he is much bigger than me. But he doesn't.
Rob is a big dude. Pause.
The thing about it is, Joshua is much bigger up top than he is down bottom, as far as his legs to upper body. Yeah. He is a very muscular, almost bodybuilder-ish, which means he either lifts a lot of weights or he relies on his muscles. And we know,
or it could be like just his genetic makeup of how his muscles are formed.
But that lactic acid buildup and pumping blood to those muscles might start getting to him. And if you look at Klitschko, he is much more physically balanced.
Yeah, he is a stone man. He's one of those guys that he has a very dense, heavy muscle that doesn't translate well to, like Rob said, like the bodybuilding stage. But you know that he is not one to be messed with if you were to see him in like a bar or something like that. The dude can still fill out a shirt, and he can also put you to sleep.
And I do not see Joshua being able to physically muscle him, even though he is comparable in size.
Yeah, Klitschko's got like what, an inch on him? They're about the same weight.
About the same height, about the same weight. I want to say Klitschko might outweigh him by maybe 5 pounds at the most. But that's the thing I'm talking about. See, now if Klitschko decides that he wants to get to Klitschko, and Klitschko ties him up and kind of just leans on him a little bit as the rounds go by.
Yeah.
He will do that.
There's a big difference with Dominic Breazeale trying to tie you up, he's a pudgy guy, and then Wladimir Klitschko, who is a brick shit house, trying to hold you down. There is a difference in getting one guy off you and getting another guy off you. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that's another one of the question marks of this fight. We don't know, like, going back to the legs, can Klitschko who really doesn't do it a lot, but sometimes he's a little apt to throwing that check hook and getting out of there, but he doesn't do it that often. Joshua has much fresher legs. He moves around the ring much better, especially at this point in his career. Now, young Vlad, that's a different story. It's a different story because that Vlad doesn't exist anymore. We got this one, and we don't know if maybe Joshua can start presenting some awkward angles from a distance, like Tyson Fury did, and confuse Klitschko as to where he's going to be.
Now, I personally can see it going one of two ways. Klitschko, in his youth, his accuracy, and
Klitschko's youth?
No, not Klitschko. Joshua's youth, accuracy, and he is a very feisty dude.
Yeah.
Knocks Klitschko out within 4 rounds. That is totally possible because let's just say that Klitschko doesn't have the best chin in that division. Or he literally drags him into the second half of the 9th, 10th, 11th round, and I'm not going to say stinks it up, but makes it a little bit ugly as the fight wears on.
Not aesthetically pleasing.
But then you see him start getting closer and closer and closer with that right hand.
Talking Klitschko or Joshua?
Klitschko.
Okay.
Because he has a tendency to start to just take it out the holster and just wait for the right time. And it may not knock you out the first time, but you don't want to get hit with too many.
Yeah, you're like, crap.
And
I don't want to feel that again. And then next thing you know, he set it up in a different way, and you get hit with it again.
Because
you're asleep.
Because he also has not only the check hook and the hook off a jab, but he also has a very good lead left hook.
Yeah.
And jumping in or
who
stepping
did
in.
he get with that bet? Was that Pulev?
I want to say it was Pulev, but he has
that thing was nasty.
And it's very short. He doesn't throw. I have long arms. I don't have big arms, and I don't have great shoulders. But I don't like throwing a wide hook. It takes everything out of my freaking shoulder. But I love throwing a very compact, short hook while stepping in myself. And the reason I do is because I used to watch Klitschko throw that same hook while stepping in. It is very quick, and because it's short, it gets to the point. It gets there very quickly.
It's also very hard to counter because of the quickness it gets to its target. So if he gets in a groove, Joshua's probably in trouble. Now, I don't know if he can get into that groove because, like I said, all those positives of Joshua, I could really see what Rob says where he just blows him out within like the first 3 rounds because of his age, his lack of movement, and him not being that sharp. Because Joshua has fought probably like 4 to 5 times in the time that Klitschko has been out. Let's see, he fought Tyson Fury in 2015 in November. Joshua's beaten Charles Martin,
Brazil.
Dominic Brazil. What's the guy?
Molina.
Carlos Molina. He's beaten. It was one more guy before he fought Charles Martin. Was that wasn't?
That might have been Dillian White.
Dillian White.
And he's beaten 3 or 4 undefeated fighters. It's one more in there.
Going to Anthony Joshua.
Yeah. So November 2015 is when Wladimir Klitschko fought.
Last fought. So Anthony Joshua has fought.
He beat Eric Molina December.
Molina, we said Carlos is Eric.
In December, he beat Brazil in June. He beat Charles Martin in April, and he beat Dillian White in December. And it was Gary Cornish before that, and but I think he had a loss. But he beat 3 up-and-coming prospects, undefeated in a row. And I want to say Gary Cornish he was undefeated at the time, but no one knew who the hell he was.
Right. So Joshua has been very busy. He's very sharp, which is why I think I'm leaning towards Joshua. But you can't count Klitschko out. The dude is skilled. But I think I'm going to go with Joshua. My mind and what I've seen lately says go with Joshua.
I want to go with Joshua as well because not for anything physical, not for skill-wise, but is Klitschko at 41 after his subpar performance against Tyson Fury, where It wasn't physically dominating, but he should have just said, the hell with it. I'm just going to throw punches. And he might have got away with a lot.
Yeah, he never did that. And the times he did hit Fury, you could tell it bothered him. But his reluctance to be hit in return kept that right hand in the holster. Like Rob said, he likes to keep that thing in the holster. And when he throws it, he means it. But it was just in the holster for too long.
Right.
Do we see that again versus Joshua? And if we do, we might not ever see it.
And knowing that he's going to have to open up against a young, powerful boxer might make him gun shy. It might make him hesitant to pull the trigger until he is absolutely sure the punch is there, and then he throws it. And at that point, it might be too late.
Yeah. Or we could get the opposite. All that talk that he's been saying about really wanting to be the heavyweight champion again, he means it, and he goes out there and he steamrolls Joshua. That would be something. I don't know if I'm too sure on that type of thing going. It could happen. I don't think it will, but it's possible. So we've thrown out a whole lot of hypothetical stuff here, and we want to know what you guys think. So hit us up in the comment section. Tell us how you think it's going to go, what skill parlays into that prediction, and rap with us. Let us know what you think. Also share this video with your friends. We know this is going to be a very popular fight because it is a sold out, almost 100,000 people are going to be in the arena. It's being shown on both HBO and Showtime in the States. So I know a lot of people have an opinion on this one, and we want to hear what you guys have to say. Hit us up on our social media platforms. All the links are down below. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Hit the bell icon so you know about the recaps, and you get to see our other uploads as they come. And yeah, the next thing is just to see how it goes. Get you guys with the recap. Rob will probably have an initial reaction video because I will be busy. I won't see the fight until late, probably not even until the day after. So Rob will probably have an initial reaction to that video, to the fight. Just maybe like a damn, he got knocked out or whatever. You know, however Rob reacts is what you're gonna see. And then we'll break it down and recap it and really give you the juice of what happened in the fight. So that's why you should subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, fight on.
This is round one, and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and cost. My fists are on fire. I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage. Keep thinking that it's a game. I kick rhyme, hurricane. I told them I don't play. I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.